The 2025 NFL season is quickly approaching, and with it comes droves of fans swimming in naivety and ignorance, each one of them thinking, this is our year, or surely we make the playoffs this time. But more often than not, each fan is hit with a shotgun blast of apathy as the season takes its toll, realizing it is in fact not their year. But this video's not about that. It's August, and as long as that's the case, us NFL fans are full of hopes and dreams. Do you think that Justin Fields will have an MVP season, or that the Dallas Cowboys will win the Super Bowl? Well, good for you, because any take is valid right now. So sit back, relax, and get hype as we go through every, and I mean every, NFL team's hopes and dreams for the 2025 season, starting with the most notorious one of all. Oh boy, there is no team in the NFL with a more delusional and loftier fan base than the Dallas Cowboys. Emperor Palpatine, I mean Jerry Jones, genuinely might be the greatest salesman of all time, convincing Cowboys fans time and time again that they are contenders, when time and time again, they are painfully not. The offseason acquisition of George Pickens from the Steelers is certainly notable and will hopefully boost a receiving group that is far too reliant on CeeDee Lamb. But the bad this offseason far outweighs the good. Marty Schottenheimer, the new head coach, is a huge question mark, and there are plenty of questions as to whether or not the injury-riddled defense from last year can return to proper form. Plus, there's this massive distraction that is the Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones debacle. Jerry Jones could convince a man to eat his own shit, a preacher to become a stripper, Dave Bluntz to lose weight, and Cowboys fans that they're winning the Super Bowl. Cowboys fans dream of playoff success, respect, and being atop the NFC. And I rate this dream as likely as, I am 6'5", drive a Maserati, and bench 400 pounds.
The Cowboys are a soap opera 365
The
days.
screening will begin
When it gets
momentarily.
slow, I'll stir it up.
Please take your seat.
If last year's Commanders team won the lottery, then this year's team is looking to invest the winnings and become a billionaire. And damn it, they just might do it. They've gone pseudo all-in around Jayden Daniels this offseason, trading for Deebo Samuel and Laramie Tunsil and rehauling the defense, including signing a washed-up Von Miller. Commanders fans haven't seen hope or success like this since 2011 when RG3 burst onto the scene. And if you recall, that hope and success only lasted a year. Commanders fans dread Jayden seeing a similar fate, and because of ghosts of Washington's past, a sophomore slump for Jayden would be catastrophic. Commanders fans dream of matching last year's success and hopefully surpassing it, with Jayden Daniels cementing himself as a top 5 quarterback in the NFL and being feared as true contenders. I rate this dream as likely as seeing a shooting star. It definitely could happen. The year is 2025 AD. I thought the Steelers had proven this wrong by now, but I guess not. I guess some teams still have the mentality that defense wins championships. That is what New York's philosophy is, right? I mean, if it's not, then what are they? They got Malik Neighbors on offense, and that is it. Aside from the most hilarious quarterback room of all time in Jackson Dart, Jameis Winston, and Russell Wilson, it kind of feels like New York's goal is just, let's hope we don't get fired this year. And if that's the case, that's really freaking sad. The New York Football Giants dream of being an actual serious franchise. That is all. And I rate this dream as likely as your mother losing 100 pounds. Good luck. What do you do when you have it all? Seriously, the Eagles have won 2 Super Bowls in the past 10 years and have been a perennial contender. What more could they want? Well, quite a bit actually. Despite their massive success as of late, there still remains a lot of criticism on the back of Jalen Hurts.
Cam hating on Jalen Hurts.
Now, I don't think it's necessarily valid to criticize a guy for succeeding with a good team in a team sport, but that's neither here nor there, because we all know that back-to-back titles would shut those haters up real quick. The Philadelphia Eagles dream of becoming the 9th team to win back-to-back Super Bowls, proving the haters wrong, and establishing Jalen Hurts as an all-time great. I rate this dream as likely as a coin flip. 50-50, it definitely could happen. All right, Brock Purdy, we paid you $265 million. Now it's time to play like it. Can you do it? Yeah, sure. Can everyone be healthy this year, though? The question that everyone is asking about the 49ers is, can Brock Purdy be the guy? Is he worth $265 million? The 49ers are in a really tough spot right now. They're coming off a pathetic season after spending the first half of this decade as contenders. The other name of the game for San Fran is avoiding injuries. This team was decimated last year by the injury bug, but then again, that's a risk that everyone takes in the NFL. You never hear Josh Allen, Mahomes, or Lamar fans complaining about injuries because they know that their quarterback can put the cape on and carry their team on their back. You can't say the same for Purdy. The 49ers dream of putting last year behind them, having an injury-free season and MVP-level play from Brock Purdy, all on the way to the franchise's first Super Bowl this century. I rate this dream as likely as, I am 6'5", drive a Maserati, and bench 400 pounds. I have never seen more pressure on a wide receiver to deliver than Marvin Harrison Jr. for the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals are stuck, rudderless. They don't know if Kyler Murray is the guy, if Jonathan Gannon is the coach, if the defense is the defense, and if MHJ is a wide receiver one. All I do know is that it's time for some of these guys to actually deliver. The front office overhauled the defense in the draft and free agency, drafting pretty much all defense this year, because that went so well the last time it happened. But honestly, I don't expect much to change. The Arizona Cardinals dream of another chance, a playoff appearance, and Pro Bowl play from Kyler Murray, and probably less video games too. I rate this dream as likely as winning the lottery. You're gonna need a lot of luck. I know most people don't really think about this, but the LA Rams were a single play away from beating the eventual Super Bowl champions. That fact is painful, I'm sure, for Rams fans, but it also should be inspiring because this team is way better than people think. Now, they need to stay healthy, but this team is really freaking good. They have Kyren Williams, Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, and Sean McVay! Plus, new addition Devontae Adams. Are you kidding me? Why are people not talking about this team? They are way better than people think. The Rams have what it takes to win the Super Bowl. Plus, they're in the easier conference. Plus, their division is wide open for the taking. The Los Angeles Rams dream of one thing: Peyton Manning. You know what I mean. A sunset swan song for Matthew Stafford's career. One last ring. I rate this dream as likely as your homie being gay. It's more likely than you think. Welcome to Seattle, the location of this year's White Blonde Boy convention. For some reason, the Seattle Seahawks see Sam Darnold as a better alternative to Geno Smith, at a $100 million price tag, by the way, and Cooper Kupp as the Owen Wilson to his Larry the Cable Guy. I mean, I get it, they had to take some kind of big swing. For the past 3 years, Seattle has been stuck in this just barely not good enough tier, missing the playoffs just barely each year. But I don't know, man. I thought firing Pete Carroll was a step too far, and now this? Good luck, y'all. That's really all I got for you on them. That's it. The Seattle Seahawks dream of doing something relevant at all? I rate this dream as likely as I don't know, getting TikTok famous, I guess. Sorry. The Atlanta Falcons season could not have ended worse last year, losing to Bryce Young's 5-touchdown game to be eliminated from a potential playoff spot. It was symbolic of a season that emitted embarrassment. And I don't know, it might have been pretty nice to see that happen. Anyways, the Falcons have admitted underachievement for the past couple years now. They're a team with so much young talent that just hasn't filled its potential. And they need to pop soon, because cap-wise, the Falcons are screwed if they don't. Plus, there's the question mark of Michael Penix Jr. He only started 3 games last season, and there have been far better quarterbacks than him to fall off after a quick spurt of success. The Atlanta Falcons dream that they have their quarterback of the future, and that their young, talented roster can lead them to their first division title in 10 years. I rate this dream as likely as you. Yes, you, being a model. Your ugly ass. How do I talk about this team in an unbiased way? I don't. The Carolina Panthers are on the upswing. This team is boasting a completely rebuilt offense with a top 10 O-line, top 5 running back, and for the first time in years, a top-heavy receiving core. But if he can play like he did in the latter half of 2024, then this is a legitimate playoff team, no doubt about it. Dave Canales is entering his second year as head coach, and there are a lot of expectations, but I and most people believe that he can deliver. So I am so excited to see what he can do in his sophomore year. I'm dead-ass serious, y'all. I know the Panthers have been the laughingstock of the NFL for the past 10 years or so, but there has not been this much excitement for this team in a long time. The Carolina Panthers dream of finally having a franchise quarterback to succeed Cam Newton, and being relevant in both the NFL and their home state once again. I rate this dream as likely as a coin flip. It really could happen, but also not. Ladies and gentlemen, I gotta level with you. There is no team I hate more in this league than the New Orleans Saints. So it fills me with great pleasure to deliver this little message to y'all. The Saints are fucked. Years of cap negligence and roster mismanagement has led them to this point. This might legitimately be one of the worst NFL teams of all time, and I love it. A first-year head coach, old-ass, overpaid vets, zero cap space, and Tyler fucking Shaw at quarterback. It really couldn't get any worse. And I say again, I love it! Saints fans dream of the season ending as soon as fucking possible, with the number 1 pick in their possession. I rate this dream as likely as the sky is blue. Y'all are fucked! Consistency is one of the hardest things to maintain in sports, but not for Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers have won the past 4 NFC South titles and have been a consistently good team for a while now. They're one of my favorite teams to watch. Incredibly fun because of their leader, Baker Mayfield. This guy is really awesome. The Buccaneers' main obstacles this season will be playing with a new coaching staff as Liam Cohen departed for Jacksonville and everyone being a year older. But they got their ring 5 years ago. This team isn't desperate. As long as they can stave off rising division talent, they're a clear lock for a playoff team. The Buccaneers dream of building a legacy for Baker Mayfield. Statistically, he's great, but it's time for him to bring it in the postseason, which likely means an NFC Championship appearance. I rate this dream as likely as a coin flip. 50-50. They really could do it. Man, it really does feel like Chicago fans cannot get a break. On paper, they're great. A talented young team with many weapons and star players on offense and defense. The number 1 draft pick behind center and a brilliant young head coach to lead them all. But in practice, the Bears are far from great. They were abhorrently disappointing last year, losing their last 10 of 11 games. And a lot of it had to do with this guy right here. Literally, all Bears fans want is a competent quarterback. It is comically embarrassing how this team still has never had a proficient quarterback. Caleb, it's all right there for you. You have DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, Ben Johnson is your coach. What are you waiting for? It's right there! Bears fans dream of having a real quarterback on their team for the first time ever. That's literally it. I rate this dream as likely as, I don't freaking know, man. Good luck. The Packers' offseason this year wasn't focused on any big swings, but instead just retooling what already makes them great. Jordan Love is the guy. He's getting paid the big bucks, and the Packers committed to him by drafting a receiver for the first time in like 20 years.
Oh my God, the first time since 2002, they drafted a receiver! Oh my God, for the first time in 23 years, it's Matthew Golden!
Green Bay is good, like they always are, but last year they kind of fizzled out a little earlier than people wanted them to. I mean, it was the postseason, they made it, but the expectation for this year is very much so a Clippers type thing where y'all just need to prove it and win some playoff games. The Green Bay Packers dream of Jordan Love lifting the Lombardi Trophy. I rate this dream as likely as the Pacers making the NBA Finals. We all said it could never happen, but then it did. So could it again? There's a theory in professional sports that the worst spot for a franchise to be is just average. Not good enough to contend, but not bad enough to get star players in the draft. The Minnesota Vikings believed that's who they would be with Sam Darnold. And as a result, they are rolling the dice with another white boy, JJ McCarthy. Whether or not he's great, JJ McCarthy offers the Vikings one of two realities. Either dumpster fire garbage or Super Bowl contention. Either of which the Vikings would prefer to last year. Vikings fans dream of being a team better than, yep, they're pretty good, every year. I rate this dream as likely as the sky is blue. May the fire that emits from the train wreck of this season burn brighter than JJ's golden locks. Good luck, Vikings fans. This one's pretty simple, so I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Last season was a massive disappointment for the Lions. Losing in the divisional round to a rookie quarterback was not what they had in mind at all. And this season, it's Super Bowl or bust for Detroit. Period. Plain and simple. No more needs to be said. The Detroit Lions dream of the franchise's first ever Super Bowl, an achievement that makes the years of suffering in the past worth it, that cements Dan Campbell's dream and vision, and that validates the hard work of a truly great team. I rate this dream as likely as finding a four-leaf clover. You know it's real, but will you see it? Of course, this next team is likely their biggest competition for that dream. There's a saying that the hardest thing in life is being consistently great. Not consistently good like Tampa Bay or the Vikings. I'm talking great, dynasty level. The Chiefs were at that level last year, and they still are now. Kansas City looks to avenge itself after being truly embarrassed for the first time in the Mahomes era, with upgrading pass protection being the name of the game. However, we've got a while till we see all this unfold, because as we all know, the season does not start in Kansas City until January. The Chiefs dream of Patrick Mahomes raising his fourth Lombardi and getting that much closer to the GOAT. I rate this dream as likely as finding a $20 bill on the street. To me, the Broncos are the Vikings of the AFC. Good roster, great coach, good defense, but just a mid-ass white dude at quarterback. The problem for the Broncos, in contrast to the Vikings, is that they share a division with the best franchise over the past 10 years. The Broncos have major little brother syndrome, and I'm not really sure how they're going to overcome it. Yes, they will be good. Yes, they're probably going to be a playoff team, but so what? Are they going to do anything serious? Nope. Are they going to be a real threat? Nope. That is unless Bo Nix takes a major leap in year 2. Now, I don't think that's going to happen, but it could. Crazier things definitely have before, and so because of that, the Denver Broncos dream of sophomore superstardom for Bo Nix, him proving the haters wrong and not becoming a, quote, shorter Kirk Cousins. I rate this dream as likely as winning the lottery. It could happen, but, nah. I put the Las Vegas Raiders in a category with a couple other teams that I call just trying to make it out of hell. because that's where the Raiders have been for my entire lifetime. And their strategy for escaping Satan's grasp is Pete Carroll and Geno Smith. I wish the Raiders the best of luck, truly, but it's not looking great, especially in that division and that conference with that quarterback. Yeah, Raiders fans, don't get your hopes up. The Las Vegas Raiders dream of escaping NFL hell, and I rate this dream as likely as I am 6'5", drive a Maserati, and bench 400 pounds. Look, I've been a vocal critic of Justin Herbert in the past. The reason that Justin Herbert still does not have a single playoff win. Anyways, but I'm not rooting against the guy. I actually really like his game. It's just time to get some playoff wins on that resume, you know? The LA Chargers are still in the rebuilding phase, trying to pick up the pieces after Brandon Staley blew everything to hell. But they're making some good progress, sticking to the Harbaugh formula of dominating the trenches and running the out of the football. Everything seems to be going to plan for them. But can we get one playoff win? Just one. One. Even if it's just in the wild card round, y'all got to do something, and the fans agree. Chargers fans dream of a season that actually amounts to something. The franchise's first playoff win in 7 years. I rate this dream as likely as hitting your growth spurt. It's got to happen at some point, right? All right, here we go, the Ravens. I don't know how many people out there are cap scholars per se, but the Baltimore Ravens are taking some serious risk this year to stay in win now mode. I'm not going to go super in depth on this, but trust me when I say void year restructuring is not a good thing when it comes to salary cap. I gave this comparison earlier, but the Ravens really just are the Clippers of the NFL. Like, they're going to be great in the regular season. They have some all-time stars, but can you do it in the playoffs? I hope they can. I love Lamar Jackson. I'm not trying to hate, but man, dude, come on. Just come on. The Ravens dream of, you know, actually doing something when it matters. And I rate this dream as likely as who knows. The Cincinnati Bengals are like that one friend you have, you know the one, who just signed like a 10-year lease on a Maserati or some shit, but still lives in a trailer park. That's the Bengals. Never planning for the future, always making poor decisions, and living in filth. The Cincinnati Bengals are a mess right now. Aside from the fact that their owner is a cheap piece of shit who won't pay anybody, their roster is unbelievably flawed and are underachieving on every level. Joe Burrow is the Maserati in the driveway of the trailer park. Yeah, he's great, but this team is not nearly good enough to warrant deserving a quarterback of his caliber. Yeah, they got Jamar Chase, but that's it. That is it. So yeah, I don't even know what the Bengals do this season. How do they right the abhorrent wrongs of last year? I mean, missing the playoffs with Joe Burrow? So I guess Bengals fans just dream of making the playoffs this year and not being utterly embarrassed like last season. I rate this dream as likely as a coin flip. I would not be surprised if they bottom out again this year. If you thought things couldn't get worse after the Deshaun Watson debacle, I've got news for you. They have. The Cleveland Browns are currently paying 6 people to play quarterback for their team. Dylan Gabriel, Joe Flacco, Shadur Sanders, Deshaun Watson, Kenny Pickett, and Tyler Huntley. What is going on in Cleveland? The guy they drafted highest, Dylan Gabriel, is doing awful in camp. I mean, straight garbage! And the media circus surrounding Shadur Sanders is the toxic waste icing on this dumpster cake. Of course, given the talent on the roster and the coaching staff's history of success, there is a chance that one of these guys could just pop. And that's Browns fans' hope. The Cleveland Browns dream of walking out of this season with a franchise quarterback for the first time since 5 years ago, when they backstabbed the franchise quarterback they had for a sex offender. I rate this dream as likely as go screw yourself, Cleveland. I do not care about you, and I hope you are never good again. And the next stop on the Aaron Rodgers ride of mania, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I hope you like ayahuasca, Steelers fans. I actually have no idea what the hell is the goal in Pittsburgh. Is it just to make the playoffs and get eliminated in the wild card for like the 6th year in a row again? Or is it to bottom out? Or is it to win a Super Bowl? It's not that. I love Aaron Rodgers. I really do. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks ever, but the lack of production is just not worth the headaches he brings now. The Steelers did trade for DK Metcalf and Jalen Ramsey and gave TJ Watt the big bucks, deservedly. There's not doubt this roster has a ton of talent, but can they be elite? Steelers fans dream of finally winning a wild card playoff game, as they're 0-7 in the past 7 years. I rate this dream as likely as a plane crash. Pretty rare, but if it happens, it's a tragedy for everyone involved. The Texans' biggest concern is if they can fix what decimated them last season: poor pass protection. It wasn't so much that CJ Stroud had a sophomore slump, but more that his offensive line decided to beat him upside the head with a bat, drag his body out into the woods, and skin him alive. Or at least that's what I imagine it felt like playing behind them. The Texans retooled their offensive line in the offseason and a couple other things too, but there's no guarantee it's going to work out. They know they have a great talent on the upswing, but I'm not sure they're really maximizing him. Texans fans dream of CJ Stroud and company blowing past the competition and surpassing the heights of his rookie season, which would mean an AFC Championship appearance, at least. I rate this dream as likely as meeting Jay-Z on the street. Yeah, it could happen, but I wouldn't get my hopes up, dog. The Colts are like the inverse of the Seahawks, where instead of being consistently good with just alright quarterback play, the Colts are consistently underachieving with horrendous quarterback play. With every day that passes, we learn more and more that Anthony Richardson is probably not the guy. I said probably, please don't kill me if he turns out to be the guy. I don't know, this is just a prediction. But all I'm saying is don't be surprised if Daniel Jones ends up being the starter at the end of the year. Dog, I don't think people realize how good the Colts are outside of quarterback. There is no excuse for how bad that team is when you look at the roster talent they have. They have a great young defense, some great skill position weapons, and a pretty freaking good head coach, all things considered. They shouldn't be this bad. If they just had like a competent quarterback, they'd be a playoff team for sure. The Indianapolis Colts dream of Anthony Richardson developing some kind of Space Jam alien powers and stealing the quarterback talent of Josh Allen before the season begins. I rate this dream as likely as I am 6'5", drive a Maserati, and bench 400 pounds. Of course, the story of the Tennessee Titans this year will be their #1 overall pick, quarterback Cam Ward. However, Cam has a few challenges ahead of him. Their head coach, Brian Callahan, is a bit of a question mark, and this team has some massive holes on the roster. But these are the circumstances that a #1 pick is always going to find themselves in. And Cam Ward is going to show us real quick whether he's a Cam Newton or Baker Mayfield level player or a Jamarcus Russell level player. I've honestly got faith in the dude, though. The biggest thing going for him is the fact that he didn't come from one of these Alabama or Georgia type NFL-ready programs where he's throwing to Pro Bowl receivers every day. He went to a bad team, but he also came from a not great one. Titans fans dream of having the first ever franchise quarterback in Tennessee. That's it. And I rate this dream as likely as Trump being in the Epstein files. And I'll let you draw your own conclusions with that analysis. The thing about car crashes is that they're just so damn entertaining to watch. The Jacksonville Jaguars are currently on a one-way ticket to Disaster Town. They might have made a huge mistake paying a quarterback who might just be the second coming of Mac Jones. They just traded away a ton of future assets to draft Travis Hunter, who is awesome, don't get me wrong, but he can't single-handedly fix this dumpster fire, and their coaching staff is a bit of an overblown, dramatic mess. Things are not looking up for Jacksonville again. Aside from Travis Hunter, this team might have the worst vibes out of any team in the league, and I fear they may have just given the draft rights to Arch Manning to the Browns next season. I have zero faith in this team. Of every team in the league, Jacksonville or New Orleans will be the worst in the NFL. Jaguars fans dream that they didn't make a huge mistake this past draft, and that their 2026 pick doesn't end up being #1 overall. I rate this dream as likely as snow in the summer. Good luck, Jacksonville. I have nothing to say to the Bills other than, now is the year, guys. Kansas City has never been weaker. Lamar still can't get it done in the playoffs, and the Texans are a mess, and Cincy is a joke right now. There will never be an easier time for Josh Allen to get a ring. Now, I don't blame Josh. The Bills' defense has had the might of a wet sock the past couple years. But still, it's now or never. And ladies and gentlemen and Bills fans, whether you believe it or not, Sean McDermott is on the hot seat. It is unacceptable for a team this talented with a quarterback this good to have never beaten the Chiefs in the playoffs. The Buffalo Bills dream that this year's the year that they can finally beat the Chiefs and whoever else stands in their way and make and win the Super Bowl. I rate this dream as likely as a coin flip. 50-50. They could do it, but they could fail again. All right, the Dolphins are kinda a mess right now. Tua has a bajillion health and injury questions surrounding him. Tyreek tried to leave the team but came back. They're shedding pieces left and right on defense, and last year they were just ass. And that leaves me a little confused because honestly, I don't know what the Dolphins dream of. Is it playoff success? Is it a new era and quarterback? Is it winning the division? Who knows? Does anybody really care about this team? Who knows? So I'm just gonna cut it here. Is Drake May the guy? Is Drake May not the guy? Literally, the only question anybody cares about with the Patriots is Drake May the guy. The New England Patriots dream of Drake May being the guy. I rate this dream as likely as a coin flip. I have no idea if he is the guy. Okay. Come on, man. Seriously? I've done like 31 teams already. Do I really need to do this one? We all know how it's going to go. The Jets are fucking terrible. Why? Do I really need to do this? Okay. All right. Here we go. Roll the clip. The New York Jets are exiting the Aaron Rodgers era with the same excitement I have seeing a Marvel movie in 2025. Ugh, this shit again. It's just like, come on, man. Can you do something? But we all know it's not going to happen. They're going to win 6 or 7 games and then fade into irrelevancy the minute the postseason hits. It feels like the Jets are the same story for the past 4 years. Great individual players, incredible stars, but a flawed roster, no quarterback, and a questionable coaching staff. All of which just leave fans disappointed and feeling sorry. I feel bad for Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, Breece Hall, and Quinnen Williams. Well, as sad as I can feel for a multimillionaire, I guess. Jets fans dream of being relevant. That's literally it. And I rate this dream as likely as I am 6'5", drive a Maserati, and say it with me now, bench 400 pounds. Never gonna happen. And there you go. That's all 32 teams' hopes and dreams. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it as always. And let me know in the comments who I will inevitably be horribly wrong about, because it's going to be a couple of them. If you watched the video last year, it was like half of them, and that was 8 teams. So yeah, thanks for watching and have a good day. See ya.